France, a country beloved by the world for its culture, history, and beauty. Millions of visitors flock to major cities each year. But the authentic essence of this nation lies hidden here, in its enchanting villages. These rural gems offer a unique experience. The tranquility of the past, far from modern chaos. In these narrow streets, you'll savor true French cuisine. You'll experience centuries-old traditions. You'll discover artistic treasures hidden from the eyes of mass tourism. Welcome to the beating heart of France, where history blends with the present, where every little square tells a forgotten story. France boasts over 30,000 communes, each with its own distinctive character. The big cities like Paris, Marseille, Lyon have always attracted millions of tourists. That's precisely why today we'll skip all the crowded destinations to show you lesser-known villages, often overlooked, but where the true heart of France beats. Let's begin. Kaysersberg. Nestled among Alsatian vineyards, it enchants with its perfect blend of medieval and Renaissance architecture. The Weiss River, which runs through the village, creates picturesque views with its stone bridges. Colorful, half-timbered houses line the cobblestone streets, dominated by the imposing fortified church of Sainte-Croix. The ruined castle offers a panoramic view of the sloping roofs and surrounding vineyards. During Advent, the Christmas market transforms the village into a winter wonderland, with the aroma of mulled wine and gingerbread permeating the air, embodying the magic of Alsatian holidays. Honfleur. Nestled on the Seine estuary, it's a charming Norman port that has captured artists' imaginations for centuries. The Vieux Bassin, the heart of the town, is a living painting, with tall, narrow houses with slate roofs reflected in the calm waters, while colorful boats gently rock. The Church of St. Catherine, the largest wooden structure in France, amazes with its unique architecture, resembling an upside-down ship's hull. The alleys of the Enclos Quarter lead to art galleries and studios, testament to the rich artistic tradition that gave birth to Impressionism. The Saturday market transforms the village into a festive kaleidoscope of Norman flavors and colors, while the port at sunset offers spectators the same magic that inspired artists like Monet. Eguisheim. Voted one of the most beautiful villages in France, it astounds with its distinctive architecture and circular streets that wind around the central castle. This Alsatian village is a labyrinth of beauty, with flower-bedecked half-timbered houses that appear hand-painted, making every corner picture-perfect. Eguisheim is also a renowned viticultural center, specializing in aromatic white wines such as Riesling and Gewürztraminer. Strolling through the village streets, you'll encounter numerous cellars, where you can partake in tastings that introduce you to the secrets of Alsatian winemaking. The village is alive with festivals and markets that celebrate the rich cultural and gastronomic heritage of the region, offering a complete immersion into local traditions. Ramatuelle. Perched on a hill overlooking the Mediterranean Sea, it's a hidden gem of the French Riviera. Its winding streets, flanked by warm-toned stone houses, meander like a labyrinth, offering beautiful glimpses of the sea and surrounding countryside. This Provençal village jealously preserves its authenticity, resisting the lure of mass tourism that characterizes nearby Saint-Tropez. Visitors are captivated by the scent of lavender and rosemary that permeates the air, while Bougainvillea adorns ancient walls with explosions of color. Place de l'Ormeau, the beating heart of the village, invites you to take a relaxing break to savor the true essence of Provençal life. Domme. A stone jewel of the Dordogne, it stands imposingly on a rocky promontory, offering idyllic panoramas of the valley below. This medieval bastion, with its mighty walls and fortified gates, transports tourists back in time. The cobblestone streets create a veritable journey through time, among honey-colored stone houses and hidden flower gardens. The panoramic viewpoint, located on the edge of the plateau, adds a touch of magic to the experience, offering breathtaking views of the Dordogne Valley and its meanders. Finally, Place de la Halle, with its 14th century covered market, remains the beating heart of the community, where residents and visitors mingle, sharing the joy of life among local produce stalls and outdoor cafes. Sainte-Agnès. Clinging to the slopes of the Maritime Alps, it boasts the title of highest coastal village in Europe. This natural balcony on the French Riviera offers magnificent views of the Mediterranean, with vistas stretching to Corsica on the clearest days. Its narrow cobblestone streets, adorned with lush bougainvillea, win their way between stone houses that seem to merge with the rock itself. The medieval castle, now in ruins, dominates the village and tells stories of ancient defenses and military strategies. The main square, with its ancient washhouse, remains the beating heart of the community, where time seems to have stood still, and where visitors can immerse themselves in an authentic French atmosphere. Pérouges. Like a medieval movie set frozen in time, it enchants with its architectural perfection. This fortified village in Ain has preserved its medieval character intact, from the ramparts to the stone houses with exposed beams. Place du Tilleul, the heart of the village, is dominated by a majestic centuries-old linden tree and surrounded by buildings that seem to have stepped out of a fairy tale book. Here, you can taste the famous galette de Pérouges, a local delicacy passed down for generations. Moreover, the steep stone streets, some so narrow you can touch both sides with outstretched arms, lead to characteristic views and hidden corners. The absence of visible electrical wires and modern signs contributes to creating an authentic atmosphere, transporting visitors on a journey through the centuries. Moustiers-Sainte-Marie. Nestled between two majestic limestone cliffs, it's like a stone nativity scene in the heart of Haute-Provence. Famous for its enameled ceramics, it's crossed by a clear stream that forms small waterfalls and bridges, creating an almost fairy tale atmosphere. A golden star, suspended between the cliffs by a 227-meter-long chain, has watched over the village for centuries, fueling legends and mysteries. The steep streets of the center lead to the chapel of Notre-Dame de Beauvoir, a pilgrimage destination that offers magnificent views of Lake Sainte-Croix and the Verdon Gorge. The ceramic workshops, hidden among stone houses and gurgling fountains, keep a centuries-old craft tradition alive. Colmar. Situated in the Alsace region, this village seems lifted straight from an illustrated book, with its timber-framed houses and canals that crisscross the historic center. The city is particularly enchanting during the winter months, when Christmas markets transform the streets into a festive paradise. Yet it retains its charm year-round, thanks also to artisan shops and restaurants offering local cuisine. St. Martin's Cathedral, with its imposing Gothic architecture and colorful stained glass windows, dominates the city skyline and offers visitors a plunge into medieval spirituality. Moreover, the Little Venice, a picturesque district crisscrossed by canals, invites romantic walks or boat trips allowing you to admire the city from a unique and evocative perspective. Rocamadour. Clinging to the face of a gorge, this French medieval village defies gravity and imagination. Its houses and chapels seem to merge with the rock, creating an image as surreal as it is magnificent. It's not just an architectural marvel, but also an important pilgrimage site. Tourists find themselves climbing 216 steps to the sanctuary, a journey that challenges the body and elevates the spirit. The beating heart of the village, with its narrow paved streets and small squares, offers an authentic glimpse into medieval French life. Here, history and legend intertwine, whispering tales of knights and miracles to those who have ears to listen. The mystical atmosphere permeates every corner, offering an experience that transcends time and nourishes the soul. Le Castellet. It's a panoramic balcony positioned in the Provençal countryside. This fortified village, with its medieval walls and original gates, transports visitors on a journey through time. The narrow cobblestone streets wind between 16th-century stone houses, creating a characteristic labyrinth. Despite its small size, the village is surprisingly lively, with small squares animated by outdoor cafes and a variety of cultural events that follow one another throughout the year, keeping the community spirit alive. A prime example of this are the artisan shops, which display ceramics and textiles, keeping local traditions alive. The village is also known for its proximity to the famous Paul Ricard racing circuit, creating an interesting contrast between ancient tranquility and the adrenaline of modern racing. Saint-Paul-de-Vence. Perched on a hill in the French Riviera, this medieval village is a sanctuary of art and beauty. Its narrow, cobbled streets, dotted with art galleries and studios, have inspired artists of the caliber of Chagall and Picasso. Every corner is a living painting, with bougainvillea climbing ancient walls and hidden squares with centuries-old fountains. The village's restaurants offer refined cuisine that blends Provençal tradition with innovation, delighting the most discerning palates with authentic flavors and artistic presentations. At sunset, the stone walls are bathed in golden light, offering a magical view of the surrounding countryside and the distant Mediterranean in a perfect blend of culture, history, and nature. Roussillon. Nestled in the heart of the Luberon, it stands as a testament to the power of nature. This village, known as the Provençal Colorado, owes its extraordinary palette of colors ranging from yellow to red to the ochre deposits that tinge the landscape and houses. The facades, perfectly in harmony with the surrounding environment, create a unique optical effect as the sunlight changes. The narrow cobblestone streets of the historic center, moreover, lead to hidden squares where local artists display works inspired by the natural beauty of the place. The unique atmosphere of Roussillon attracts visitors from all over the world, offering an unforgettable experience that blends art, nature, and history into a living painting of rare beauty. Obernai. Nestled among Alsatian vineyards, it's a medieval jewel that enchants with its colorful half-timbered houses and stone streets. The market square, the beating heart of the town, is a triumph of Renaissance architecture, surrounded by richly decorated historic buildings. The town hall's bell tower offers a panoramic view of the sloping roofs and surrounding hills, dotted with vineyards. But Obernai is not just a feast for the eyes, it's a complete sensory experience. During the Christmas season, the town transforms into a true wonderland, with a market that fills the squares with lights and the scents of mulled wine and gingerbread. Festive decorations adorn the facades of the half-timbered houses, creating a magical atmosphere that seems to have stepped out of a Brothers Grimm fairy tale. Saint-Rémy-de-Provence. Nestled at the foot of the Alpilles, it's a vibrant blend of art, history, and the quintessential Provençal way of life. This village, which inspired Van Gogh, breathes creativity from every stone. The concentric streets of the historic center teem with art shops, outdoor cafes, and colorful markets, where the aroma of lavender mingles with the sense of local cuisine. The ruins of Glanum testify to the ancient grandeur of classical civilization, while the large weekly market transforms the streets into a festive bazaar of colors and flavors. The numerous restaurants and bistros of the village offer visitors the opportunity to savor the rich Provençal gastronomy, completing a sensory experience that engages sight, smell, and taste. Conques. Located along the Dordogne River in the heart of Aveyron, Conques is a village of rare beauty, famous for its Abbey of Sainte-Foy, a marvel of Romanesque architecture. This historical site is a crucial stop for pilgrims on the Way of St. James and is renowned for its beautifully carved tympanum and the treasure it holds, containing relics and precious objects of sacred art. Walking through the streets of Conques is like taking a journey back in time, with medieval houses and narrow lanes offering rustic glimpses at every turn. The serenity and historic charm of Conques make it an ideal place for those looking to escape the hustle and bustle of modern life and immerse themselves in a bygone era. Dinan. A medieval sentinel of Brittany, it dominates the Rance River from atop its intact walls. The steep cobblestone streets lead to countless surprises, including a Gothic church and a hidden square with a fantastic panorama. The bustling center of artisan shops and cafes demonstrates an ancient history, while the river port adds a touch of maritime liveliness. During costume festivals, the village transforms into a living fresco of the Middle Ages. But even on ordinary days, the ancient charm permeates the air, making every visit a journey through time. Finally, the clock tower, symbol of the city, offers a spectacular panorama of the surrounding landscape, giving a unique perspective on the beauty of this Breton village. Gordes. Nestled in the heart of Provence, perched on a steep hill, Gordes presents itself as an enchanted vision with its limestone houses shimmering under the Mediterranean sun. This village is renowned not just for its panoramic views over the Luberon Valley, but also for its narrow streets winding among historic buildings and welcoming bars. Gordes is rich in culture and art, hosting several museums and galleries, in addition to historic landmarks like the Renaissance castle that dominates the landscape. The spiritual atmosphere is also palpable at the nearby Senanque Abbey, an active Cistercian abbey surrounded by lavender fields. Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port. Nestled at the foot of the Pyrenees, it's a crossroads of history and spirituality. This Basque stronghold, the last French stage of the Camino de Santiago, has been welcoming pilgrims for centuries, with its pink walls and bridge over the Nive. Rue de la Citadelle, the main artery, winds between half-timbered houses and artisan shops, culminating in the mighty Porte Saint-Jacques. The Monday market brings the city to life with local colors and flavors, while the Citadel, atop the hill, offers beautiful panoramas of the surrounding valleys. Wanderers often gather in the taverns thanks to the welcoming soul of the village, blending Basque tradition and the spirit of the Camino. Ménerbes. Perched on a ridge of the Luberon Mountains, it's a gem of stone in a sea of vineyards and olive groves. Made famous by writers and artists, it enchants with its winding alleys and houses made of local stone. An important museum, housed in a historic building, celebrates the gastronomic specialties of the region, while from the highest viewpoint of the village, one enjoys a lovely view of the surrounding countryside and distant mountains. Art shops and galleries hidden within the walls testify to the vibrant cultural scene of the place, which has attracted creatives from all over the world. Rochefort-en-Terre. This village in Brittany shines for its authentic medieval spirit and its flowered houses that adorn the stone streets. Renowned as one of France's most beautiful villages, the town is a mosaic of ancient architecture, with ornate stone facades and balconies overflowing with geraniums. The main square, surrounded by ancient noble residences and small artisan shops, is the vibrant heart of Rochefort-en-Terre, where tradition and modernity meet harmoniously. This village transforms into a veritable fairy tale during the Christmas period, with lights, decorations, and markets that attract tourists from all over the world, making this place a perfect example of how history can blend with festive joy. Mont-Saint-Michel. This small rocky island in Normandy is dominated by a magnificent medieval abbey, surrounded by walls and ancient buildings. Beyond its stunning architectural beauty and the tidal landscape that changes drastically with the tides, Mont-Saint-Michel is a historic pilgrimage site and one of the most visited in France. The rising tide transforms the village into a spectacular vision isolated from the rest of the world, while the low tide allows tourists to walk along the sand that separates it from the mainland. The abbey's interiors and the historical museum enrich every visit with culture and history. Collonges-la-Rouge. Shining like a ruby set in the green countryside of Corrèze, it amazes with its extraordinary red sandstone architecture. This village, founded by monks in the 8th century, owes its nickname of Red City to the facades and roofs in this characteristic stone, which lights up with iridescent reflections as the light changes. Towers, turrets, and spiral staircases adorn the noble Renaissance mansions, creating a fascinating contrast with the ivy and flowers that adorn them. The Maison de la Sirène, with its legendary sculpted mermaid, and the Chapelle des Pénitents, bear witness to centuries of history and art. Walking through the cobblestone alleys, among artisan shops and small restaurants, you breathe a unique atmosphere where time seems to be frozen in an eternal Middle Ages. Les Baux-de-Provence. Perched on a rocky spur of the Alpilles, it dominates the surrounding valley like a stone eagle's nest. This village, once a powerful medieval fief, today enchants with its maze of narrow streets and small squares. The ruins of the castle, theater of ancient Provençal legends, offer idyllic panoramas of the surrounding countryside, ranging from vineyards to olive groves. The limestone houses, perfectly integrated into the rock, seem to merge with the landscape. Les Baux is also a lively cultural center, thanks in part to ancient quarries that have been transformed into a spectacular exhibition space, immersing tourists in worlds of light and color. Èze. Perched between sky and sea on the French Riviera, Èze is a medieval village that seems to defy time and gravity. With its narrow streets and stone houses climbing along the side of a steep hill, this village offers one of the most spectacular views in France. The exotic garden, located at the village's summit, is a haven of rare plants and sculptures, from where you can enjoy a magnificent panorama that stretches from the French coast to distant Corsica on clear days. Moreover, Èze's historical richness is revealed in its architectural details and artisanal shops, offering perfumes and local products, making it a charming place for those seeking a tourist experience rich in beauty and authenticity. Yvoire. Located on the French shore of Lake Geneva, Yvoire is another perfect example of a medieval village, known for its unmistakable charm and centuries-old history. With its fortified walls and watchtowers dating back to the 14th century, Yvoire invites you to explore its rich past. The Garden of Five Senses, inspired by medieval gardens, is a must-visit attraction that offers a sensory journey through mazes of aromatic plants and colorful flowers. The village's location also offers characteristic views of the lake and surrounding mountains, creating a perfect balance between nature and historical heritage. Yvoire is indeed an ideal place for those wishing to immerse themselves in tranquility and beauty, while discovering the art and culture of a bygone era. Le Cronan. A jewel of Brittany, it seems crystallized in the 16th century, the era of its greatest splendor. This granite village, once a thriving center of the sail-making industry, today enchants with its stone streets and perfectly preserved noble houses. The Place de l'Église, the beating heart of the village, is dominated by the majestic church of Saint-Ronan, a pilgrimage destination and witness to ancient Celtic traditions. Artisan shops, hidden behind stone facades, keep traditional arts alive, from weaving to glassmaking. During the summer solstice, it comes to life with the Grand Tromenie, a procession that follows a sacred circuit, blending Christian faith and pagan rites in a unique experience. Château-Chalon. Towering on a rocky spur in the Jura, it stands as a guardian of a millennial wine tradition. This tiny village, cradle of the legendary Vin Jaune, offers a heavenly panorama of the underlying vineyards, arranged in terraces like an undulating green sea. The ancient stone houses huddle around the remains of the Benedictine Abbey, while centuries-old cellars, carved into the rock, jealously guard the precious barrels of Savagnin. The Place de la Mairie, with its central fountain, becomes a meeting point to taste local flavors, while the Belvedere offers views that stretch to the Alps, blending nature, history, and wine tradition into a single unforgettable experience. Riquewihr. A charming village in Alsace, Riquewihr captures the hearts of those who visit with its fortified walls dating back to the 15th century, and the vibrant half-timbered houses that color its stone streets. Known as one of the most beautiful villages in France, it is a jewel of history and culture. When visiting, it's essential to stop at one of the many wine cellars for a tasting session that reflects the rich terroir of the region. The local gastronomy is equally captivating, as are the seasonal festivals and markets, particularly the Christmas market, which transforms Riquewihr into a lively center of holiday spirit and joy, making it a perfect place to discover local traditions at any time of the year. Cassis. Nestled between limestone cliffs and terraced vineyards, this Provençal village is a jewel of the French Riviera, far from ostentatious glamour. Its characteristic port, protected by ancient fortifications, is a living painting of colorful boats and outdoor cafes. The famous Collonges, miniature fjords with turquoise waters, are a paradise for hikers and sea lovers, offering romantic landscapes and hidden bays, accessible only by sea or rugged trails. Its historic center, a maze of alleys and shaded squares, hides architectural treasures and artisan shops, while the centuries-old wine tradition is expressed in renowned white wines, perfect for tasting at sunset in a beach bar. Cassis is an authentic place where the calm Provençal life can be felt at every corner. Bormes-les-Mimosas. On the hills of the French Riviera, it's a riot of colors and scents. With a medieval style and ochre-colored stone houses, The village is characterized by a maze of flowery alleys, where bougainvillea and jasmine climb ancient walls. Renowned for its lush gardens, the village transforms into a yellow sea during the mimosa flowering in February. Moreover, the picturesque historic center, with its open-air cafes, offers panoramic views of the Bay of La Lavandou and the Golden Islands. Bormes embodies the essence of Provence, where the art of living blends with the beauty of Mediterranean nature. Annecy. Often called the Venice of the Alps, Annecy offers a magical fusion of water and mountains. Imagine strolling along tranquil canals or romantic stone streets with the panorama of the Alps as a scenic backdrop. This is Annecy. Lake Annecy, one of Europe's cleanest lakes, invites you to peaceful cruises or relaxing afternoons cycling along its shores. The old city's heart is dominated by the Palais de l'Isle, a 12th century castle that seems to emerge directly from the water, now a museum that tells local stories from times past. La Roque-Gageac. Nestled between steep rock walls and the Dordogne River in southwestern France, this characteristic village is a true medieval gem. Its golden-colored houses climb up the hillside, creating a spectacular panorama that reflects in the calm waters of the river. Recognized as one of the most beautiful villages in France, it boasts a long history, visible in the ancient dwellings carved into the rock and in the old fort that overlooks the town. Surprisingly, the village hosts gardens full of exotic plants like palm trees and banana trees, thanks to the particularly mild climate created by the rock walls that protect it. Tourists can also enjoy boat trips on the river aboard traditional flat-bottomed boats. thus having a unique view of the surrounding landscape. Carcassonne. It's a medieval city in the heart of the Languedoc region in southern France, famous for being one of the best preserved fortresses in Europe. Surrounded by double fortified walls that extend for almost 3 kilometers, the city offers an impressive silhouette of towers and bastions that vividly evoke the medieval era. The oldest part, the Cité de Carcassonne, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and attracts visitors with its extraordinary defensive structures and historical atmosphere. Inside its fortified gates, narrow and winding streets are lined with artisan shops and restaurants serving local cuisine. The heart of Carcassonne is the Château Comtal, a castle at the city's center, offering a dive into history with tours of historic halls and ancient walls, from which panoramic views of the surrounding countryside can be enjoyed. Grimaud. Grimaud stands out with its medieval charm in the heart of Var, Provence. Imagine walking through the ruins of an ancient castle, towering over the Gulf of Saint-Tropez, offering a spectacular view that extends to the sea. The stone streets, lined with pastel-colored houses and climbing vines, lead you back in time, while hidden corners and panoramic views are certainly not lacking. The village has an authentic and tranquil atmosphere and amazes visitors with its well-preserved architecture, flower-filled alleys, and shaded small squares. There are also artisan boutiques to discover local art and small bars to taste Provençal cuisine. Beuvron-en-Auge. Nestled in the heart of the Pays d'Auge, it's a living painting of rural Normandy. This village, designated as one of the most beautiful in France, captures the essence of the region with its characteristic half-timbered houses in pastel colors and slate roofs. The central square, surrounded by 15th and 16th century buildings, hosts a weekly market where the aromas of cider, cheese, and apples mingle in the air. well-tended gardens, hidden behind wrought iron gates, offer glimpses of Norman private life. Finally, the village lanes invite leisurely strolls, discovering characteristic corners and artisan shops that keep local traditions alive.